Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Bible in a year as part of discipling. Today, we're reading Leviticus chapter 5, um, and we've been going through God's instructions on offerings to Him. Now, here, chapter 5, it's for special cases. Just these are special cases. If any person refuses to give the information which, as a witness of something he has seen or learnt, he has been adjured to give. So if you've refused to give info and thus commits a sin and has guilt to bear, or if someone without being aware of it touches any unclean thing, as the carcass of an unclean wild animal, or that of an unclean domestic animal, or that of an unclean swarming creature, and thus becomes unclean and guilty. Or if someone, without being aware of it, touches some human uncleanness, whatever kind of uncleanness this may be, and then recognizes his guilt, be it vomit, be it feces, be it even blood, remember? Or if someone, without being aware of it, rashly utters an oath to do good or evil. That's why with God, his instructions are let your answer always be yes and no. Do not make oaths. Never make an oath with people. Oh, I promise I'll do this, or don't make oaths. Be it good or evil, unless you really, really mean it. Okay? Or if someone rashly utters an oath to do good or evil, such as men are accustomed to utter rashly, and then recognizes that he is guilty of such an oath, then whoever is guilty in any of these cases shall confess the sin he has incurred, and as his sin offering for the sin he has committed, he shall bring to the Lord a female animal from the flock, an ewe lamb or a she goat. The priest shall then make an atonement for his sin. If, however, he cannot afford an animal of the flock, he shall bring to the Lord as the sin offering for his sin 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, one for a sin offering and the other for a holocaust. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer the one for the sin offering first, snapping its head, loose its neck, yet without breaking it off completely. He shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering against the side of the altar. The rest of the blood shall be squeezed out against the base of the altar. Such is the offering of sin. The other bird shall be offered as a holocaust in the usual way, meaning whole, yeah? But with cleansing the inner organs. Thus the priest shall make atonement for the sin the man committed. Okay? And it will be forgiven. If he is unable to afford even 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, he shall present as a sin offering for his sin 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour. He shall not put oil or frankincense on it, because it is a sin offering. So when you're offering sin to God, don't put frankincense. It's not a sweet oblation, right? But it's an oblation unto the Lord nonetheless. When he has brought it to the priest, the latter shall take a handful of the flour as a token offering, and this he shall burn as a sin offering on the altar with the oblations to the Lord. Thus the priest shall make atonement for the sin that the man committed in any of the above cases, and it will be forgiven. The rest of the flour, like the other cereal offerings, shall belong to the priests. Okay. Guilt offerings. Remember, here we're discussing exceptions. The Lord said to Moses, if someone commits a sin by inadvertently cheating, either you'd be cheating, maybe cheating on your tithes, teaching on your offerings, cheating against the sanctuary's shekel, or in trade, whatever. In cheating in the Lord's sacred dues. So things you owe to God, like tithes, offerings, shekel measurements and things like that, he shall bring to the Lord as his guilt offering an unblemished ram from the flock, valued at 2 silver shekels according to the standard of the sanctuary shekel. He shall also restore what he has sinfully withheld from the sanctuary according to it a fifth of its value. This is to be given to the priest, who shall then make atonement for him with the guilt offering ram, and he will be forgiven. Okay. So if you've been telling God, God, I'll give you 10% of my salary, then you end up giving 4. Later on, you must bring back the 6. If someone, without being aware of it, commits such a sin by doing one of the... That was a bit funny to me. Okay. If someone, without being aware of it, commits such a sin, by doing one of these things, which are forbidden by the commandments of the Lord, that he incurs guilt for which he must answer. He shall bring as a guilt offering to the priest an unblemished ram of the flock of the established value. The priest shall then make atonement for the fault, which was unwittingly committed, and it will be forgiven. Such is the offering for guilt. The penalty of the guilt must be paid to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, if someone commits a sin of dishonesty against the Lord by denying his neighbor a deposit or a pledge for a stolen article, or by otherwise retaining his neighbor's goods unjustly, or if having found a lost article, he denies the fact that and swears falsely about it, with any of the sinful oaths that men make in such cases, he shall therefore, since he has incurred guilt by sin, restore the thing that was stolen or unjustly retained by him, or the deposit left with him, or the lost article he found, or whatever else he swore falsely about on the day of his guilt offering. He shall make full restitution, of the thing itself, and in addition give the owner a fifth of its value. As his guilt offering, he shall bring to the Lord an unblemished ram of the flock of the established value. When he has presented this as a guilt offering to the priest, the latter shall make an atonement for him before the Lord, and he will be forgiven for whatever he may have incurred. This is just a mental picture that you've lied to your neighbor that the chickens that ran into your compound are not his, but they're yours. You've lied and you're adamant. And when the time reaches, when the community is offering guilt offerings, you remember. Then you have to literally go back to your neighbor and say, oh, by the way, I lied, and here's a fifth of the chickens I stole, of the chicken I stole. Oh, wow. That would be so embarrassing. But and that's just the beauty of the new covenant in Christ, where yes, we still have to make restitution, because he says if you have any beef with your neighbor, go back, fix it before you come to me. And it doesn't end. God doesn't change. We continue tomorrow from chapter 6. Have a blessed day.